I hate people that have money and ride around on Harley Davidsons with Harley Davidsons t-shirts acting like they're bikers because they're really not.
Well, now that we're recording, we picked that up.
And thus all the Harley Davidson riders in Indiana came and
Well-
showed up.
Well, let's just be honest. Yamahas and Hondas are better bikes.
Crotch rockets all day.
No, I like Shadows and Vulcans.
Mhm.
But welcome to
I
another
like
episode of Hoosier Nerds.
Indians.
Indians are nice. Indians are probably my favorite, other than BMW.
I'm a Ducati guy myself.
Sorry to
Not really.
interrupt,
I just
but welcome
wanted to
to
throw that
another
out there.
episode.
Say Ducati.
But welcome to another episode of, the podcast, Hoosier Nerds Podcast, with your hosts, Honda, Kawasaki, Indian, and Ducati.
Wait, which one am I?
Hold on.
No, but, Tim, Mikey, Chris, and Chris with a K.
You know who
Right.
we are.
I know, honestly, if it's the 20 people that listen to us, you all know us by, like, on a first-name basis, probably.
Welcome to the greatest podcast in the world.
That's Tim sitting there playing Destiny.
The 20 people listen to.
Oh wait, can you hear me? Can you hear
No,
my?
I can't. I can't hear the Destiny. I'm just watching your video. So, we don't have much, movie news or TV news or gaming news. We have, more sports news this week. It was kind of a slow week. Not a bad thing, but,
Ramping
Kinda
up
suck.
the Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
Too bad
But-
there's no Pro Bowl.
Are you ready for some football?
Waiting
I
all
should have never
day.
said Super Bowl. The big game. Take
Oh,
it
yeah.
back.
Can we say
the
Super
big-
Bowl? Or can we
Is it
get sued if we
trademark?
say
Yeah,
I thought we could. We can say it. We can't give stuff away or promote it. Or I don't know the rule. We're not
Yeah.
a bar. We can say Super Bowl, right?
I
Yeah.
think we're not making money off of this, to my knowledge. At least I'm not making money off of this podcast.
It's costing us at this point. We have no sponsors. We have
Listen,
no
Listen, if
commercial.
the NFL wants to come after us and they somehow find this podcast, we'll get it in like an article and stuff like that. We'll be fine, okay? So Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Come get us, NFL.
Maybe
So
the
is that
thumbs
like
down
beat-
guy will take us in.
Is that like Beetlejuice when you say Super Bowl 3 times? Roger
Wasn't even-
Goodell shows up.
I wasn't even thinking of that. Or Jerry Jones from South Park. My eyes aren't too far apart.
Washington's go F yourself, Redskins. But
So,
I guess go ahead, Mikey.
I just speaking of the Super Bowl, keep it on the Super Bowl. Is that everybody who thought? Did everybody think the Kansas City
yeah,
and
that was-
the Tampa Bay?
I
Out
don't
of
want
the AFC, yes, I knew KC was going to make it, but I honestly thought Green Bay would have.
I mean,
as a hero.
the Bills are right there. I mean, I'd give the Bills like 1 or 2 years before they're a real contender. Because the Chiefs aren't going to be able to keep that squad forever. It's going to be
No.
just like the Rams. And they paid
Oh, yeah.
all of the Rams players all that money. And now the Rams are falling apart. And what a perfect segue into
No,
falling apart.
we'll
Yeah.
come falling apart like Green Bay did.
No, I mean like getting rid of your quarterback.
Oh,
Well, they just traded their quarterbacks.
I know. It was like a trade plus like 2
Yeah.
first-round picks and
Did you see the trade though? It was Matt Stafford for Jared Goff, 2 first-round picks, and a 4th or a 3rd-round
Third
pick
round.
for.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot for Matt Stafford. Okay, I mean I like Matt Stafford. I think he's a good quarterback.
Sure.
I really don't think Jared Goff is better or worse. I think they're both probably equal, and Jared Goff is younger.
Well,
So
No,
I would
say
have to
Stafford
say-
is better.
I think
would-
Stafford is better.
Yeah.
But then Stafford is 32, and Jared Goff is 28. That's
This-
5 years difference.
Well, you millennials, this reminds me.
4
actually-
years.
This reminds me of the trade that the Houston Oilers and Oakland Raiders did with Ken Stabler and Dan Pastorini. Pastorini was the good young up and coming kid, and Stabler was on the downside of his career per se. and they traded straight up for him. No, they got somebody else too.
Well, it's not. I'm not saying that like younger players are always better than older players.
No,
It's just
That's
I
that's
think
what this
that
trade reminds me of.
you
Quarterback.
I feel like you take it like into account a little bit that I mean I said 5 years, but Mikey corrected me 4 years. And I mean 4 years is a long time. When Matt Stafford is 37, gonna retire if he even makes it that long.
He's
Jared
got a better
Goff
chance of making it in
will
Los
have
Angeles.
a few more years. Yeah, he definitely has a better chance of doing it in LA.
This may elongate his career by a few years.
And I mean, I guess it's not really going to change the length of Jared Goff's career. He's still probably going to play till he's like 35,
barring any injury.
barring anything crazy or
Right.
Him turning into Tom Brady and playing until he's 62 years old. I mean,
Tom Brady already showed him who's daddy, so
I more of don't want the Bucks to win because of Gronk. I'm fine with Brady winning another Super Bowl. I'm not okay with Gronk doing it
Why?
because he retired and then came back just because Brady got his hands on a Super Bowl team. It's the only reason why he came back.
Kind of like Antonio Brown, huh?
yeah.
Did Antonio Brown retire though?
Yeah. Well, no,
did.
he was just out of the league until Tom Brady wanted him. Then
Yes, I do remember. Yeah, F him too. I mean, I think Antonio Brown's a good player, great player. I mean, I think Gronk is, I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but he's easily top 10 tight ends ever. I just from him winning Super Bowls and from his stats, I think he's definitely top 10.
I don't know.
But I don't
Do you think do you think the Rams have a good chance of winning the NFC West though? 'Cause I think they do with Stafford.
I mean, the West is the problem with that is that division is always stacked. The 49ers have always been pretty solid. I mean, the weakest team in that division is the Cardinals, and now they have Kyler Murray, and
D Hop
and what's his face? Christian Kirk.
Buda Baker.
I mean, Buda Baker. I mean, they got a solid team coming up. That division's
Well,
pretty solid.
They went 10-6. That is better than the Central.
I mean,
Or the
every
East. I mean, it's better than the East. The East went 7.
Problem this year is the NFC East was so bad that it made the whole rest of the league look so much better. So you're welcome, all other teams. My team took a hit this year for you.
Your team just got, couldn't shake the injury bug.
Oh, there was many things wrong with my team this year. I will need a whole separate podcast for that.
He's a Cowboys fan. No one knew.
Still better than being a Colts fan. But go ahead.
Well, speaking of the Colts, who do you guys think the Colts should get for quarterback now? Should we stick with Jacoby? But Jacoby's already had his chance, I think.
I don't think they should get Deshaun Watson. His style don't fit with that offense.
They'll never trade him to us.
He costs too much. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think he costs too much. They probably thought Stafford probably cost too much. That's why they didn't even got him.
I'm thinking the same thing. Two first rounds and another. Yeah, that's too much.
It's just that
If
whole
anything, hopefully they try to. Yeah.
If he was the missing piece, maybe.
Yeah.
But their receivers dropped a lot of passes last year's Indianapolis or this season, not last.
I mean,
year,
honestly, how many really good receivers have you guys had in the last 10 years besides TY? And I would still say TY is like the bottom of the top tier. He could have been so much better. He still can be so much better.
Yeah.
But like, how many? I mean, you guys got to get
Michael Pittman's looking pretty
receivers.
good.
I mean, honestly,
really good.
Paris Campbell had that injury bug. He got injured
Yeah.
the last 2 seasons early, so you can't really see what he's done.
Yeah, he's always injured.
The problem with a
Didn't
lot of our receivers, other than Pittman,
Campbell play on another team though?
No, he was drafted.
Oh,
by
it was drafted by Colts. Okay. I didn't.
Dante
I don't-
Moncrief was okay, but I don't know.
I don't know what
He was
happened to
iffy.
him.
I forget what team he went to. I think I thought he
Steelers.
went to Patriots.
The
Oh,
Pats,
Steelers,
right?
Or Patriots?
Didn't he go to the Pats?
I thought it was.
No, the
Pats.
Pats have that guy we drafted first round
Oh,
from the U. Oh, what's his name?
Yeah.
Pat McAfee always says he in practice he balled out.
yeah. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
Philip Dorsett.
Can you guys hear my dogs?
No.
Okay, good. Stupid Bo.
Oh yeah, Philip Dorsett didn't do anything in Indianapolis, so.
Yeah,
He didn't really do anything in New England either.
catch a couple of passes. That's about it. What he won?
Yeah, he wasn't impressive at all.
That's because the Pats don't really use their players the right way.
Well, what's his face doesn't know how to coach a receiver to save his life.
You think they're going to try to get Cam Newton? The Colts?
Colts? No.
Oh my
No,
god.
not Cam.
I think
Please
Cam's
no.
career is pretty done. I don't think his career is going anywhere anymore. I think he's gonna be backup. But
Cam
think he's-
does not fit our culture.
Or even get Colin Kaepernick back in?
No,
Yeah.
because it's Midwest and it's the Midwest, it's Indiana, so
He's
he
not
wouldn't
interested.
work here.
Well, maybe they can trade their pick up and try to draft
Well,
a QB.
We
But
drafted that QB third round last year. Eastham, I think his name was.
yeah, but I don't think they're not ready for him yet. I don't
Yeah,
think he showed anything.
and then there's I've heard that a lot of draft projections I've seen, the Colts go for the Alabama guy.
Well, I mean, the Colts are ready.
Hello,
What?
is he
Did-
breaking
did
up for
it-
everybody else?
everybody break up?
They're not gonna
yeah,
put.
okay.
They're not. No, they're not.
Wah.
Yeah,
The NFL.
they're not
They
gonna put
getting
a
us!
rookie in there.
Or are you saying, Mikey, your mic kind of broke up?
I said, they're making a Super Bowl run. The Colts is, and they're not gonna put a rookie QB in there and just waste the season.
Yeah. But there's really no veterans out there we can get now, except for Watson. Unless there's some
Yeah,
block
like you
rust
said, he's
plus.
Well, he's not one like you said. He's too expensive. He's not going to fit the environment, and they're not going to draft a quarterback. I read that somewhere because they're too far down in the draft.
Yeah.
Everybody in front of them needs quarterback help.
Tom Brady was a 6th round pick or something. So
Yeah, but you know how
Yeah,
hard
but he
it is
was
to
a
find
freak of nature.
he is a freak. of
But
nature.
he didn't start his first year though. They need someone to start now.
I mean,
Well,
he really
neither
only
did Aaron
started
Rodgers.
because of Bledsoe.
Yeah, and
Aaron Rodgers
Blitz-
didn't start his first season either.
Because of Favre.
That's a great idea, though.
no,
That's the
wait.
smartest thing you could ever do is
Was
bring
it-
a rookie quarterback in, let him sit a
Who's the
year and
trade?
learn.
Oh yeah, it was Eli and Philip Rivers. I think was the trade.
Yeah. Garoppolo.
Philip Rivers didn't want to play in
No, it was
Eli.
Eli
did not
want
want to play in San Diego.
Oh yeah. I forgot it was San Diego, not L.A. That's why. Oh my god.
So I don't know who they're going to get. I really don't, unless they stick with Jacoby, and that's just another mediocre season.
Well, the thing with Jacoby, until he got hurt, we were 5-1. We were the only team to beat the Kansas City last year.
True.
But then
That'll be-
again, all we did was hand it to Mac down the middle, which I hope Mac comes back next year. Even though what's his face did pretty good.
Wasn't Mac injured?
Yeah, he tore his Achilles game 1.
That's right. Did you guys read about, speaking of other players, Nelson Aguilar called out the whole Raider team in the locker room after they lost to the Dolphins?
No, what
I
happened?
don't think Aguilar's in a position to call anybody out. He's not that good.
Well, yes, he does. He is. He was one of the best receivers on their team this year, next to Darren Waller. Says that Aguilar called out his teammates for being selfish and not working hard enough, and they quit in several games, and there was no accountability. But Max Crosby confirmed that
They need a new quarterback. That's what they need.
No, they do not need a new quarterback.
Derek
They're
Carr
just-
is awful.
Why do you say
He's-
he's awful? Look at his
Because he's a
statistics. You know what? They averaged
quarterback.
They averaged 27 points a game this year. You know how much they gave up? They gave up like 30 points a game.
I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about his career. He has not been a good quarterback for his whole
You
career.
say that about Matt Stafford though. His whole career, because he's been on a shitty team. This is the first year. This is one of 2 years where Carr's actually had time in the pocket to, not get his
I know
ass.
the Raiders haven't had the best team, so I got to give Derek Carr a little bit of a break. But I would say there was a good 5 years where his only really good season was that year that he got hurt and they ended up losing in the playoffs. That was his only good season, I feel like.
Well, he had a really good season. This year.
Aside from this
You
year,
gotta look at statistics.
aside from this year, he's been in the league like 11 years.
He's not
But
been
he's
in the league.
never really had a good team around him.
How old
never
is
had-
Derek Carr? Hey, Bixby.
It's 20 something years, like 20, 28, 20. I don't know. I'm looking at his stats. He threw for 4,103 yards this year. That's the most he's ever thrown. 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions with a 101.4 quarterback
He's
rating.
20
And
now.
you're telling me he's
In the league.
terrible?
It's 1 year.
I think if he had better pieces, he'd be all right.
He's 29 years old.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3.
21 comebacks, 24 game-winning drives.
I think Carr is better than a lot of people give him credit for.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's never really had good pieces around him. He's dealing with honestly probably one of the biggest diva coaches out there in Gruden. Gruden wants to
They
control
just got
everything.
Gruden, I feel like 3 years ago.
Yeah, Carr had a pretty good year this year.
He had this is one of his best. This is one of his best years, honestly.
If your guys' defense was a little bit better, you guys would probably make
Their
the playoffs.
defense is horrible. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So you can't be throwing him under the bus saying he's a terrible quarterback when the defense is the one giving up all the points. They finally got a decent offense. They finally have a decent offense. They probably could have went to the second round. They could have beat the Chiefs, actually, because they've done it before. And they lost to the Chiefs in the second game in the last second of the game by a field goal because their defense sucks. So, but no, Aguilar, he's got a reason to bitch and complain. I'm glad somebody said it.
You could always say it. But no one listens to you.
No, they don't. I complain and complain and complain. But he did play for the Eagles when they went to the Super Bowl, so he knows how to be on a winning team. So,
The Aguilar's problem is he likes to drop passes.
no, not this year. He had an awesome year this year, actually. I was really concerned about that. Was his drop pass thing, but man, that guy was on point all year long.
Mikey, I just tilted my phone to try to see more of you. I was like, oh no.
I just have it sitting on a table, so I'm not looking at the camera, but now I am.
He averaged 18.7 yards in his catches this year. That's the most he's ever had in his career. 896 yards. That's the most he's ever had in his career. He only had 48 receptions, though, which makes his average go up. 8 touchdowns. That's matched his touchdown total in Philadelphia in 2017 as the most. So this is probably one of his best years.
That's good. All right, so who's the MVP of the league right now? Who do you think is going to be MVP?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Rogers.
Yeah, right.
It's Rogers.
Yeah. Tom Brady can't be MVP. How many picks did he throw in one game?
Why
Like
can't
3
he
years?
be an MVP?
Because
Oh,
I mean, I
shit.
feel
I
like
don't.
you would
I don't.
feel like he would be MVP like every year.
I think.
if you compare his stats to Aaron Rodgers, it
I
doesn't
think
compare.
that the MVP should be the frontline workers. Be the NFL.
This guy,
I'm just trying to be politically
Bravo.
correct. That's
we're all in this
as a
together.
frontline worker, go home.
It takes all of us, guys.
I don't
I'm
know.
the real
It's
MVP.
got to be a toss up between Aaron Rodgers and Tom.
Honestly, King
Uh,
Henry almost should be.
Who?
King Henry.
Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
I wonder if FanDuel has anything on it.
What about
Let me
Josh? What about what's his name? Josh. What's his name in
Josh
Buffalo?
Norman?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen. Who's Josh Norman?
You
That
don't know who Josh
cornerback-
Norman is? I hope that's a
cornerback
joke.
who gets punked all the time.
He's a cornerback. Same
Definitely
team,
not
though.
not MVP worthy.
No, Josh Norman didn't have an MVP season, but
No.
still.
He had a couple of really stinky games really early.
Josh
on.
Allen, did he?
Yeah, Josh Allen.
I don't know. I would give it to Tom Brady just because he was that.
I think he
good.
has enough awards. He doesn't need any more.
Yeah, give it to somebody else.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Give it to
Go
Lamar
don't have
Jackson.
any. FanDuel doesn't have any odds for the league MVP. They just have Super Bowl.
Do you
MVP.
guys think Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback? I don't think he is.
No, he reminds me of
Michael Vick.
RG3, and he's built. That's why I don't like
better than
Deshaun Jackson.
RG3.
He's
That's
better
why
than
I don't
RG3, but he reminds me of RG3.
That's why I don't like. I think
he'll
Deshaun
be
Watson's
like
cut from the
a-
mold, and
a lesser
it's just those guys don't. Their careers are not very long. I'm surprised that Vic played as long as he did.
He would have played
Vic?
longer if he didn't stage dog fights.
Well, I know. But I mean, yeah, but he did
Vic-
come back.
How many
Vic
years did he
learned to
miss
sit
though?
in the pocket,
2?
though. No, he missed like 3 years. I'm gonna look it up. But no, Vic.
And he
dog
has
fights,
so
he
many
legal?
records.
No, Vic
like-
would have. Vic
Oh
learned to
my
sit in the
God.
pocket.
Okay, so check this. Hold on. Okay, I was just googling something
17
here about
months.
Deshaun
He
Watson.
was in jail.
How much?
Oh.
What do you think the Texans want for Deshaun Watson?
Probably 2 first-round picks at least, and another star player at the
Hopefully-
very
Okay.
like.
Hopefully, at least
I-
around
I-
where Matt Stafford was.
I see your 2 first-round picks, but then I'm going to add 2 second-round picks and 2 young defensive starters at least for Deshaun Watson.
Oh my God.
He's not worth that much.
I mean, I know quarterbacks are inherently worth more than the rest of the like single individual players on the team, but it's a lot.
But you also had to pay that contract
Yeah, he's got
Yes.
a pretty big
that
contract.
he just signed.
And then, is he going to stick around? Because what if he don't like what if he don't like Indianapolis? I mean, look what the Colts did. Colts a long time ago. That's what they did for Eric Dickerson, and Dickerson came from L.A. and then he goes to Indianapolis, and he was miserable in Indianapolis. So
Well, the problem is Indianapolis isn't big for free agents just because we don't have like anything to do in Indianapolis.
well, I
And
mean,
it's cold or colder than elsewhere.
Yeah. That's why the Pacers can't get anybody. On top of them not wanting to pay anybody, it's because it's Indianapolis. When you can pick between Indianapolis and say LA,
well, you know what?
gonna
Any
pick
really
LA.
okay. So any real basketball player, if I was a basketball player, I would want to go to Indiana, which is essentially the home of basketball, and turn it into a championship town. That would be my goal. I mean, Reggie Miller did that.
Did we
The
win a
first in
championship?
87 and 88. Think about their draft picks. So they could have had Indiana Golden Boy Steve Alford in 1987, and they didn't pick him. Who'd they pick? They picked that lanky kid out of UCLA named Reggie Miller, which I could remember watching the draft that day. I was doing work at my dad's uncle's, which is my great uncle's house, and he's an IU fan and a basketball fan, and we're watching we was doing yard work, and we go in and eat lunch, and we're watching the draft because it wasn't like big time prime time back then. This is the 80s where nobody cared, and it was for the 12th, I think they had the 12th pick or something. The Indiana Pacers draft Reggie Miller, UCLA. My uncle's like, I don't even know who that is. Let's go back to work, and that was it. And like everybody was all mad because Steve Alford didn't get drafted by the Pacers. Then in 1988, who do they pick? Some tall white guy from some college nobody's ever heard of. Who was that guy? Rick Smits. So you don't need a superstar to come to Indiana. You need some guy that becomes a superstar because he plays in Indiana. That's what works.
Did you guys? Speaking of, did you see what Oladipo said about said the other day? He said he's tired of franchises giving up on him, and like the internet blew up and like you gave up on us. He did give up on.
Yep.
Oladipo did give up on the Pacers.
I think he did too. And that's what I'm saying. You can't. That's why I think that's why they don't go after superstars, because they're not going to fit into the culture, which is the state of Indiana, the fans in Indiana, and
blue collar.
Yeah, it's extremely blue collar, and you need guys that want to come here and make a career out of it and make that basketball team their own. And they haven't found it. I mean, Paul George could have had it, right? Hill could have had it. Either one of them, both of them could have had it, and they went somewhere else.
Hill could not have been. Hill's not a superstar material. George Hill.
Yeah, but he could have. That could have been his team.
Yeah,
Paul George could have been his team.
It's the Pacers are 4th in the East at 11-8.
I feel like the problem is everybody wants to build like the super team. They all like go immediately, like they will go and grab like 2 superstars to meet their one guy. So like all these like good players coming out of like the drafts have such a small window to win, because it's like, okay, you draft somebody that's like pretty good and they do pretty good their rookie season, pretty good the next season. Now you know that they only have a year or like a couple of years left on your team before, if they're really that good and your team's not winning, they're going to go elsewhere. So you have to go and grab, say a Paul George or a Chris Paul or something like that to help your rookie try to win, and then lure a third person over. I feel like the last team to build their team was the Warriors, because they drafted Steph, they drafted Clay, and then Kevin Durant went to the Warriors later on, but they drafted Draymond. They like pretty much drafted that like dynasty team, and then added Durant later on.
I mean, Sabonis could be that. He's that guy, kinda, but he reminds me more of a Rick Smits type player than.
He's a number 2. He's not a number 1.
Exactly. They need to find
need
somebody to complement him. That's what I'm saying.
They need like a Kawhi or something.
That's exactly who they need. They need they need somebody around him. Like, I mean, that's what the Knicks did with Patrick Ewing. They drafted Patrick Ewing, and they built that team around him.
Of a team.
Who?
The Knicks. I feel like they should have won so many years with Carmelo and Stoudemire and Tyson Chandler and J.R. Smith.
They should have won that many with who? I mean, they had Charles Oakley. They had
Oak.
They had John Starks. They had Patrick Ewing. They were loaded.
I don't know.
If you want a good 30 for 30 that kind of covers them, watch the Reggie Miller 30 for 30.
Reggie Miller story, yeah.
That really covers that team and like how good they actually were. Like not Indiana. I'm saying like
The Knicks. No, and you think about it, and I look back because I watched that, and I was like, or they show those games on the NBA Network, like the old classic Pacer
Yeah.
Knick playoff, and I'm like, my God, the Knicks were stacked, full of people. How did they not win? But I mean, that's the Pacers' issue is they need a guy that wants to come and he's like, this is my team. I'm gonna like Reggie did. They need to find another Reggie Miller type of attitude, not player because he was a freak of nature, but that attitude was, you know what, this is my team, and they're gonna build a championship around it, and that's exactly what they did.
Also, be a little willing to pay a little bit more on people.
Well, I agree with that, but I mean, Pacer fans are loyal to their they love those players.
The thing is, I'm a Pacers fan. I'm not a player fan.
Well, but in this day and age of sports, you can't have a favorite player anymore because they move so much.
Yeah, you can. That's what. No, everybody's moving to favorite players over favorite teams.
Well, but I mean, come on. As a Raider fan, I had favorite players on the Raiders for years. The Raiders were my team, but I still had favorite players. I'd be afraid to buy it. I got a Derek Carr jersey. Thank God that he's lasted as long as he has.
What a worthless jersey.
Hey, you shut up. It'll be a year or two before you burn your Prescott jersey or your Zeke jersey because they went somewhere else.
Hey, I got my Van Der Esch jersey and my Witten jersey. That's all I
You
need.
probably have a Tony Romo jersey too, don't you?
My cousin has my Romo jersey.
I don't. I'm looking at my Andrew Luck jersey right now.
I have Aikman, Van Der Esch, Witten,
Witten just retired.
Romo.
Romo reminded me of Danny White.
I think the only one I have is Robert Mathis for Colts.
I bought 2 throwback
Or had.
Colts this year because I didn't want to buy anybody new because I bought a Luck jersey and he quit. So I bought Art Donovan and Burt Jones. Those are my Colts jerseys. All my Raider jerseys are old school. It's Ken Stabler, Jim Plunkett, Cliff Branch, Daryl LaMonica. I mean, I'm going way back. Lester Hayes. I might buy a Darren Waller jersey this year. I really might. I really thought about it. So that might be my next.
That'd be a good jersey.
Yeah, that might be my next jersey. I think they're going to hold on to him. He's going to be like that. That Jason Witten, Anthony Gonzalez, where he's going to stick with the team. I'm really hoping. So.
Well, T.Y.'s technically a free agent right now, so.
Are they going to sign him?
He wants to. He wants to be a Colt for life.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Let's hope he does, because he's one of the last things from that era.
Yeah. He's like the offensive veteran on that team, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know. Well, we got another 8 months for preseason starts. No, they made the season longer, so the preseason is not as long, right?
I think, unless that was just for this year.
No. Didn't they make the season longer?
I don't remember.
Isn't it 17 games now?
I thought it's always been 17 weeks. They might have been 18 or something like that, right? Well, I don't remember. It's been so long.
I would think it would have to be. I don't know. Let's go to. That's a good question. It's got to be 7. Are they doing 17 games? That's an odd number, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like not. I mean, it's an odd number, meaning it's an odd number.
Well, they usually do 17 weeks with a bye, so that's 16 games. But if they do 18, maybe it's 2 bye weeks. I don't know. I doubt they'd do that.
I was looking to see what they're.
I just remember them talking, or at least I've heard ideas like they maybe wanted to reduce the preseason games, but I don't know if they ever did that or not.
I think that I
Tim
think that's what they got
Linnell.
was expanding the playoffs.
That was a
Oh,
big. They should have never expanded the playoffs. They
I
need to cut
loved
the
it.
playoffs down.
I loved the playoffs this year. It was one of the best ones yet. Every game was good except for the well, every game was pretty good.
NFC East, NFC Beast.
Didn't they give? No, they didn't give Tom a run for their money. The football team got their butts whooped, if I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
they.
for those who are like, what football team? As in like the Washington football team.
So they have
I wonder
not
if they're going to
decided
get a
whether
name
to
change
take
this offseason.
See, I wonder if they'll just stick with the football team. I don't know.
Yeah.
2-3 years to go back to Redskins, nobody's gonna care. Be hilarious.
Right.
No.
Who
Any
knows?
more sports news or anything?
No,
No.
I don't have anything.
Oh.
I just want to talk about the 24 hours of
Lem-
Daytona.
let me just say what the proposed trade for Matt Stafford was that I had seen, and then I was like so mad. I was like, if this happens, it was Matt Stafford, just Matt Stafford, for either Amari Cooper or Michael Gallup, or Michael Gallup, and like a first round pick. Like, get out it, or like
What about Dak?
2 first round picks. I think it was 2 first round picks.
It
Oh,
could-
that I could probably see 1 first round pick in that old player, but not 2.
But like not Michael Gallup.
Why not Amari Cooper either? He's a waste. He's a waste of space. Forget about
You just don't like him because
Well, once
Can't
they
be
get
even
to
Kelsey.
Detroit, they die. Who's gonna be Detroit? Oh wait, no.
Motor City
Oh,
Mike.
no, I was like, if they did that trade for a wide receiver, then who's gonna be their quarterback? They'd have to draft one or something. I don't know who's their backup.
it. That's true.
I mean, they might just
Um,
go a year and wait. See who the quarterbacks are next year.
Suck for another quarterback.
Well, they would have had Dallas's first round pick, but
Well, what about Dak? Is Dak still?
Oh well, so they
Dallas's
would have like
quarterback?
picked
Well,
high.
I don't
then
know.
if
They
had
were
Dallas's
assuming
first-
Dak was going to be injured still.
If they had Dallas's first round pick, they would pick at least 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 2 first
Oh
round
well,
picks
we're
would be
definitely down there, but I don't know if our first round pick was even really our first round pick.
oh yeah,
David
That's what I
Blau
was
is their backup
confused.
quarterback. Detroit's backup quarterback. So there you go. There's your answer. Chase Daniel.
look at that.
There's your 2 quarterbacks. You got Chase Daniel and David Blau. So there you go. He's
I mean,
oh,
the
that's that guy
Lions
out of
already
Purdue.
had it.
Well, how's that kid out of Purdue? He ain't very tall though. He's only 6'1". He is 0, no touchdowns, 1 interception, and 49 yards with 32.9 quarterback rating. So that's the guy. They would have had him to throw to Amari Cooper.
What a horrible combination. The quarterback from Purdue and Amari Cooper.
I don't know if it was him or Chase Daniel. I don't know who. I would say Blau was probably 3rd string. Yeah, Chase Daniel. He'd been in the league 12 years. So I would say Blau was 3rd string. So it would have been Chase Daniel. So there's your answer for quarterbacks for Detroit. Had they not got Jared Goff.
Should be interesting next year.
I'm
Yeah,
just worried about the
Goff's not.
Colts.
He's not exciting though. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
He just gets the job done, which is, I mean, that works. But
Well, he's not in what's his face's system anymore. So
McVay.
yeah,
He's in Dan
They
Campbell.
should have went like 16-0.
Dan
Their
Campbell.
squad they had a couple years ago.
yeah, they were really good.
Todd Gurley was at the top of his game. Jared Goff was doing pretty good. They had all of these amazing receivers. They ran all these crazy trick plays that everybody
They-
fell for all the time, and then they just fell
Still
short.
have Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald was
That's right.
just
Yeah.
eating people, and they just couldn't capitalize. And that might be one of the reasons why they're getting rid of Jared Goff.
That was the most boring Super Bowl I've ever watched in my life.
Same. The friggin' punters should have been MVPs.
God, that was awful. So,
All right.
What's this I hear about race cars?
yep,
Driving
24 hours
fast?
a Daytona. Okay, so yeah, there was some interesting news actually coming out of the 24 hours of Daytona. So the overall winners were Wayne Taylor Racing with 2 Indy 500 winner drivers, Alexander Rossi and Helio Castro Neves, along with Felipe Albuquerque, who races with the team all season, along with Jordan Taylor. Jordan Taylor is Wayne Taylor's son, actually. So they won the overall 24 hours of Daytona. But in the was it the GTD division, I believe, the Corvette team won overall with Jordan Taylor, which is related to Wayne Taylor and Ricky Taylor. That's Ricky Taylor's brother. Corvette Racing won, but one of their drivers. So Antonio Garcia. So he tested negative coming over for COVID, right? On his test to leave the United States to go back home, his test came up positive, and he drove in the race as late as early this morning. He drove in the race, and so they pulled him out of the car. So the other 2 drivers had to finish the last probably 10 hours of the race by themselves.
Because you're
So-
gonna spread COVID in a car.
Well, he was in the car. That's the crazy thing, and they knew he was in the car. I'm surprised they didn't not let disqualify. You know what? If that car was running really shitty, then they probably would have pulled it. But since they were in position to win, but the guy won, right? And he couldn't participate in the victory lane celebrations.
So how do they
Which-
pull somebody from a car without them losing place?
They do. You have to have. It's a 24-hour race, so every car has 3 to 4 drivers. So when they make pit stops, they do driver changes.
Oh, okay, all right.
And not
Oh,
every pit stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so you might run for so many laps, then you pit. That's one stint. Well, that driver may stay in the car. They can stay up for 4 or 5 stints. So, but if you win the race, you win a Rolex. It's like a really big deal. It's called the Rolex 24 at Daytona. And you win a Rolex watch if you win an overall event. So here this guy wins the 24 hours of Daytona, and he can't participate in victory lane celebrations because he's got COVID. But
At least he's a watch.
he does get the watch. And I mean, he did race. He was in the car. Like I said, he was in the car this morning, but I don't even know how you do that. What's the protocol for that? Okay, well, your driver, he tested positive. But he had no symptoms whatsoever. None whatsoever, which is really bizarre.
Did they do another test or?
Well, they pulled him from the car. I mean,
Yeah,
That
but
could
did
be
that
like
one
a
test-
false positive or something.
Yeah,
it might have been, but I guess they couldn't have taken. Well, he had to do a test to get in, and he tested
It was-
negative.
Driving.
Huh?
I can't. This world we live in.
Here we go. Let me see what this is. This is courtesy of Racer Magazine.
We've ever
Um,
been ready for an alien invasion.
He
It
was
is
short.
now.
He was pulled shortly from the roster after 9 a.m. this morning, leaving Taylor and Katzberg to finish the race. Oh, the GTLM division. Corvettes finished 1 and 2. So they won their division, the GTLM division. They won the race, but so after from 10 to 3:30, they only had 2 drivers left, and Antonio Garcia he's a solid road racer, so it had to hamper them a little bit. He tested negative in preparation for his arrival for the Rolex, We've received notice he has now tested positive in preparation to depart the country, the team said in a statement to the media. He was immediately pulled from competition upon notification of the positive test result, and although he wasn't experiencing any symptoms, will no longer participate in any additional race activities at the Rolex 24 at Daytona.
Wow.
We have notified crew members and others who had contact with Antonio and will conduct testing with racing team members after 72 hours per CDC guidelines. So that's an odd twist to a winning outfit there. So that's my 24 hours of Daytona news. Yay to IndyCar drivers and Indy 500 winners won the race, and one guy tested positive during the race, and they still won the event. So,
Were you rooting for anybody to win?
yeah, actually,
I
the
don't
guy
know.
who won, Alexander Rossi, he races for my favorite IndyCar team.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was in that.
Alexander Rossi and Elio Castroneves actually were teammates on this. So they won. And then the second, I think, who was it? Second place was 2019 Indy 500 winner Simon Pagenaud finished second, along with 7-time NASCAR champion Jimmy Johnson. So they finished second. So it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big event, actually. They get a lot of different. They got another guy who finished second was Kamui Kobayashi. He was he's a Formula One driver. So.
Oh, the hot dog guy.
No, not Kobayashi, the hot dog guy. This is Kobayashi, the race car driver. So they pull drivers from all over the world. People want to win this race. So it's a pretty big deal. And then in 2 weeks, we have the Crash Fest and ridiculousness that is the Daytona 500 plus, because it'll probably go into overtime because they never run 500 miles anymore because they're stupid. So there you go. There's racing news. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yay.
There you go. I got nothing else.
I got nothing, Mikey.
It's been 2 weeks since Walker TV series on the CW has started.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched both episodes, and I was really excited for it because it had
Jason
whoever.
Knuckles.
No.
Jared
What?
Padalecki. Did you have a crush on Jared
Yeah,
Padalecki?
yeah.
Oh,
I was like, what? Yeah, Jared Padalecki.
I forget what
From
what
Supernatural.
name was
It's
what.
one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remembered Jensen's name first.
But yeah, if anyone's interested in watching it, and if you're a fan of Walker Texas Ranger with Chuck Norris, it's really not like anything like that. That's what I like. On that first
how often
episode,
do
I was
people
like,
go
oh,
through
it's gonna be
glass?
kind of similar.
well, I saw somewhere that he gave his Chuck Norris gave his blessing to Jared Padalecki.
I'm sure he did.
So that's good to hear.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, they modernized it and they've put a lot of drama into it, and I just look at it as like maybe like a Texas Ranger crime show, not as the miraculous Chuck Norris karate kick and riding a horse and super cop.
Do people go through glass though?
It's only been 2 episodes. I haven't seen that yet. Actually, wait. There might have been a scene, but I don't remember. But so far, I do like it. I'm interested in how the season will go and how it will end.
Is there like a story or anything like that?
Yeah, is it one of those you have
yeah.
to watch every single episode, or can you just like get in on it and go, hey, this is a good show?
No, I mean, of course, it's like there's that underlying theme throughout gonna be the whole season. Like Jared's character Walker, his wife ended up dying that first episode.
Spoilers. Shit, now I don't
Yeah.
even have to watch it. Thanks.
Yeah, well, you don't find out by who, and I think the viewers know it's murder, but Walker doesn't. He wasn't there or anything. He talked to her on the phone before she died. Like she's like, someone's chasing me, basically. So I
Wait,
guess
what is his mother's name? Martha, or is his wife's name
Martha.
Martha? His wife's name Martha.
yeah,
Save her.
I have no idea.
Oh,
But yeah, so there's that. So he might be trying to find out who did that, but other than that, there's just another, and then he has this whole drama with his family because he disappeared after she died. Basically, he said he went undercover or whatnot, and he just kind of disappeared and didn't really like. He got lost in his depression, I guess you can say, but and abandoned his kids basically. So yeah, there's that.
okay. Well, there you go.
I don't know.
I might check it out if I can remember.
What is it on?
Keep going with it.
Thursdays on CW, like at 8. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
on TV?
Yeah.
What is
You
this,
CW.
mean I have to
2010?
watch a regular TV show on a regular
Oh my
channel?
god!
Oh my
Holy
gosh,
shit! Are you kidding
I'm
me?
sure you can stream it. I'm sure you can stream it. God.
This is turning into a project. I don't know if I signed up for this.
I
I gotta
know.
find the CW on my channel.
I don't even know what channel that is.
Here it's like Channel 4, or it used to be Channel 4.
Is it channel? Is it no? Well, it ain't channel 4 anymore.
No.
Is it channel 8?
It's 4.
No, it's not 4. 4 is CBS.
6.
Yeah, I think it's
2.
8 now.
It,
I don't
it's
know. I
channel
just
8 is the CW now, I think. Okay, I'll have to look it up. I might, if I can find the other two, I might watch those this week. Not really, but I'm going to say that I am going to try. But I might watch it this week and get caught up. It's only been 2 episodes in.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well that's a good time to get caught up, but you're only 2 episodes behind. So.
CW is on 7. At least for Xfinity.
Well, is it channel 7? Well, really?
It might be. Yeah, at least that's not the HD channel, but
I'm gonna look it up now that I've got. I can't find it.
you don't have cable.
Yeah, you don't have cable. I do.
Oh, you
I do.
didn't know you got cable.
I've got cable.
When did you get cable?
The day I moved in, that's the most important
Oh.
thing in the world. I watch Peacock quite a bit. That's where I watch The Office.
well,
Yeah, we just got
CW.
internet.
Yeah, it's 8. The HD channel is 8.
Yeah, it's 10:08. Yeah. So there you go. So it is right. I was right. Yay! I'm never right.
That's what
You're always left.
your ex has told you too.
Yep. I just agreed with them as much as I could. All right. Well, then we'll have to check that out on the CW. Let's see what's on tonight. We got Family Feud, and then NCIS New Orleans, and then
With
Batwoman.
Scott Bakula.
Batwoman is on tonight, and then Charmed. Is that the reboot of Charmed, or?
Yep. They're making a reboot of that. It's always on
So
the.
they didn't have the Pro Bowl this year. They just doing like Madden Pro Bowl. Am I understanding that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Why can't they go play football?
Same reason why you can't race in a car.
Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson, and Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray lead 2 teams of fellow NFL stars and celebrities going head-to-head in the NFL Madden in the Madden NFL 21 video game with the official AFC and NFC All-Star roster.
I mean, if there was like 11, like they had 22 players on each team, and somehow you could connect
That's just
22 controllers, that would be pretty cool.
they're showing Super Bowl highlights on the NFL Network, but it's all like modern Super Bowls. Take me back to Super Bowl 1, or Super Bowl 12, or I don't care about the Super Bowls in the 50s. I remember those games.
Okay, Boomer.
Hey, you shut up.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
When the
Christmas
Super Bowl
Bowl.
was when the Super Bowl was good. It was never good, actually. It was really Super Bowl 15 was held in New Orleans, and they had a like a Mardi Gras band for the halftime show. It's like some cheesy Mardi Gras band, and I think Up with People. They should bring Up with People back. That's what I'm saying. You want some good entertainment? Look up Up with People on YouTube. They played the Super Bowl 16 and Super Bowl 10 and Super Bowl 14. They were quite the halftime show. Up with People was.
The best halftime show was Bruno Mars at the New York Super Bowl.
Which Bruno Mars? The first Bruno Mars or the one where he had to come out and save Coldplay because they sucked ass?
The first one.
Yes, I agree. Well, Prince was pretty awesome though. That was pretty phenomenal. So we'll talk about more. Okay, so we'll talk about that next week. I'm laying the law down now. Halftime performances. We're going to talk about them since next Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday,
Sure.
and we have the weekend doing the Super Bowl show, the halftime show this year.
With or without his botched facelift.
He looked like a Muppet, didn't he? I thought he looked like a Muppet. So, all right. Well, don't forget you can listen to us all on, since we didn't do this earlier, on YouTube, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, and iTunes for your listening pleasure. And for you thumbs down guy on YouTube, you can hear us on YouTube for you to thumbs down us again.
We love you.
We do love you. We wish you would come on the show and we can have a great discussion. And maybe you can save the show where it doesn't suck, and you would give us a thumbs up if you were on the show, which is why you probably won't come on the show, because then you couldn't give your own episode a thumbs down.
No. He or she.
Inception.
But you can hear us on all those formats, so please check us out. We're on Facebook and on Twitter at Pod Nerds, so you can go to all those places. And we got anything else to talk about? We good? Or we gonna have? Oh, we need a shower thought, don't we?
Yeah, I was going to say we need shower thoughts.
Yeah, we need
Can
a
we get-
shower thought.
Can we
Or-
get two since we didn't get one? We got an awful one last week. From...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got two. Don't worry. I got two.
Oh, yeah, I did the horrible one last week, didn't I?
I don't even remember. I don't even want to remember.
It was so bad. I don't want to remember it either.
No. All right. A group of scientists studying the brain is really just a bunch of brains studying a brain.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. A brain studying brain. And then
Branson.
a lollipop is really nothing more than a flavor enhancer for your own saliva.
Well, okay then.
Suck on that one.
Oh.
All right, Timmy boy.
Timmy boy, take us out.
As Chris said before, check us out on all of your favorite platforms, and you will never wonder who's your nerds.